Hey, what's up, everybody? Got a quick live that I wanted to share with everybody with a client of ours who I'm extremely proud of and has really put in the work. And I want to share a little bit about his experience for everybody. I'd like to introduce you to Brandon. He is the owner of Brandon Contracting. Brandon, tell me a little bit about your business.
Just a small business in Muskoka Lakes, generally working on cottages and secondary homes.
Okay. And Brendan was a Pro Hire client, so he signed up for our Pro Hire system. And Brendan, can you tell us a little bit about what you were experiencing prior to working with us? Kind of what it was like making hires in your local area.
There were some real challenges getting quality leads on candidates. The people that were generally handing their resumes in were less than experienced than I was hoping for, and or bouncing from job to job with no sort of loyalty.
hmm And that must have had a huge impact on your business.
It made it really challenging to schedule anything out with any sort of distance, and certainly it's time consuming onboarding and then dismissing people constantly, so it
Right.
was always a challenge.
Right. So, in helping you solve the problem, I mean, again, very proud of Brandon for showing up and doing the work and actually following through with the process. Explain to us kind of what that experience was like, and how you made the adjustment to using Pro Hire.
Well, it was intimidating at first. Certainly a whole different way of doing things, but as I slowly got on board with it, it really opened my eyes to a whole lot of different options that were I certainly was not aware of.
hmm
And then implementing the software system in order to keep track of everybody really
hmm
made a big difference too. Cut down all the paperwork, and it was very easy to see where I was at, who I'd talked to, who was coming down the line, and just even sort of filtering out the candidates that didn't meet the minimum criteria was a big help.
Right, right. So one of the things that I felt was really unique with your situation is, the lack of onboarding being one of the challenges that you were facing, but also again, kind of coming back to the type of candidates that you had typically hired before versus what you're looking at now. So maybe you can share that with us. I know one keen story that I remember vividly. It was the laborer that you hired, and the first day he showed up, and then he didn't come back again.
Yeah, so a laborer that was hired showed up for a day, and then suddenly had all these injuries and ended up not wanting to get him looked at. And then after a few days of that and not getting looked at, we had to part ways. It ended up being quite a long story because he turned around and made all sorts of accusations against the business.
Mhm.
So it was that was a challenge.
Right.
So glad. Well, I hope that's never going to happen again. But I think that with what you're bringing me, it's certainly more promising.
Right.
So
So one of the kind of epiphany moments is that, hey, we don't want to hire laborers anymore, or even carpenters. We need like a lead carpenter, and kind of coming, getting a good understanding of that job description, and now as we move through this, actually attracting people that are qualified for the job. So, tell me a little bit about where we're at now. So you just shared a quick win with me prior to us jumping on the call, and I'd love to
yeah.
share that with everyone.
So we just made a hire through the Contractor AI system. Um, really excited. It comes with lots of experience, and seems like he's much more open to doing things the way I'd like to see them done compared to a lot of the people I've worked with in the past.
hmm
He certainly has a better mindset than past employees, and I'm really excited to bring him on board and get rolling with him. I see positive things coming forward, and I think it's going to be a good future with him.
mm And what if it doesn't work out?
If it doesn't work out, there's actually two people right behind him in line
Right,
that we're going to just keep going down the road.
right,
Um, it's there's a backup in place, so that's a position I haven't been in the past where there's somebody already on the list ready to call and say, "Hey, are you still interested?" So
Right.
that's pretty exciting and makes me more confident about being able to address some situations that come up as they always do.
Right. Well, and that's again when we first started out, that was the goal. That was the objective that we wanted to have is to have the options of hiring the right person, not feel like we had to reactive hire anybody that had a pulse, and to have backups to our backups. Right. So I'd say that that's a pretty big win for any contractor. I think we're all after that, and again, it gives you some more confidence in making more sales and
Yeah.
marketing your business. More importantly, keeps you off the tools. Right. It's going to
Well,
remove you from there hopefully, and get you away from actually doing all the work, which I mean that's what we're all after as well, right?
well, yeah, and that's the goal. I mean, the goal is to be able to do the all the exciting stuff during the day and not have to be building the projects myself. Um,
Hmm.
having somebody I can rely on that's going to be there to take over that role, so I can concentrate on the growth aspect of the business.
That's awesome. So
That's the exciting part.
And again, not to pump your tires or anything, but one of the things that I'm super proud of and that I watched you, actually go through the change and really struggle with is you weren't a technology guy. You didn't weren't comfortable with it. You didn't like it. When you came in, you were really hesitant, but
Yeah.
something allowed you to move through it, being uncomfortable. We went through it week by week, and now looking at you where you're at now, I'd say that it's been night and day, right? So before, very passive with the technology, and now all of a sudden we're seeing the value in it.
Yeah, and I mean the technology has been very intimidating, just
Hmm.
because of the situation of not being able to get decent internet access. We sort of was years behind in what it was available, and it's a big hose to drink from when you start looking at this stuff. And
Hmm.
Jay's team was certainly able to introduce me to these things slowly enough that I was able to grasp them, and that it's just cutting down the paperwork has made such a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you recommend to somebody that's maybe in your position, that's struggling with technology? What would you recommend to them?
Just pick up the phone and make a call. Um, I'm really happy working with Jay and his team, and I think that it's been worth every penny. And just do it. It's stop thinking about it, stop researching it, just get on with it, because it's not as intimidating as it looks. And having the right team in place that knows their stuff, it just everything gets set up and it's easy to run and it's easy to use and it makes a world of difference.
That's awesome. I'm again, like I said, I'm certainly proud to have you as a customer, and just seeing the growth in you. That makes my job. That's what I'm here for. That's the impact I want to see, and looking forward to many, many more wins in other areas of your business with you.
Well, thank you, Jay, and I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you.